guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amina and this is Experiencing Fragrances with Amina. I know it's been a while since I've been here. Excuse Stormy, she's doing stuff there, but I know it's been a while. Life, right? We all have stuff that come up in our lives that must be taken care of, and sometimes we just need to take a break, and I took a break. But I'm back now. But I wanted to come to you guys and share an experience that I recently had with a brand or like a fragrance retailer, I guess. I thought long and hard whether or not I wanted to mention the brand's name. And for transparency's sake, I'm going to mention the name, but we'll get to that in a minute. First off, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know me. I mean, a lot of you guys already know me, but one thing about me is that I am not a good bullshitter, okay? I've been criticized for this many times in my professional career, in my educational career, or whatever you call it. I remember one incident when I was training for my previous role and we were learning some things and I was having a hard time because it wasn't a field that I was unfamiliar with. It wasn't something that I studied. Anyway, I was really having a hard time, but pushing through learning, and we needed to do a group presentation, explaining some concepts and what have you. And in that project, we all had our own like slides, where it's like, okay, you make a slide on this topic, this topic, this topic, you do a couple slides on this topic. So we agreed to that. We did it. When it came to kind of presenting, one of the team members decided to assign me a slide that I didn't do and that I didn't feel comfortable doing. And I told him, no, I'm not doing it. Why? Because I didn't make the slide. I don't really grasp that concept well enough to present it well. And I would just say the bare minimum. So I'd rather somebody else present that so they can really go into detail because they know what they're talking about. Then he's like, oh, well, you can just bullshit it. And I was like, no, I cannot bullshit it. Something about me is that I hate to be put on the spot in a way where I'm being called out, if that makes any sense. That's the worst thing. I'm not one to compromise my integrity. I only speak on things that I know. I only speak on things that I back 100%. If I don't support it or I don't back it, I will never speak on it in a way where it seems like I have experience with. It's just not me. I've never been that way. Since I was a kid up until now, I just cannot. I don't know how to bullshit. And I remember when I told him that, my team member, he was like, oh, well, you're not going to be a good, engineer at this company, which is the company that I worked for. And I worked there for 4 years. So, I mean, I guess I did okay. But I just remember that interaction and the fact that some people pride themselves on being able to bullshit. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I just want to let you guys know here, I'm just not one to say things and fake it, especially if I have no background in it, I have no information, I have no experience. So don't ever expect that from me. Anyone, it's a thing that I pride myself on that, and I'm proud that I stick with it every single time. Okay, so back to the story. So the fragrance retailer I'm going to talk about today is one called Favgrance, like fragrance, but like Favgrance. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos kind of circulating on YouTube, a lot of people promoting them, they're brand ambassadors, what have you, which is totally fine. I know everyone has their own, experience with people, with companies. My experience, however, was quite negative. And, the experience kind of let me know, okay, so it made me remember why I started my channel in the first place. So let me just go ahead and tell the story. Let me get a sip of my coffee. Favgrance ended up following me on Instagram a while back, and I followed them back. I remember at that time, I remember seeing just a couple of videos on YouTube. The first video that I saw was from Ollies Mom. You guys know Ollies Mom. She did a pretty good review on it. I'm honestly not sure if she was sponsored, so I can't, say that much. But the reason why I'm bringing her up is because I really enjoyed how she um, kind of structured her video. Uh, she's very analytic like myself. She's a fellow engineer. So I really liked how she structured her video, kind of comparing it with other online discounters, or online fragrance retailers, and kind of talking about the pros and the cons. And a lot of the cons that she mentioned, or all the cons she mentioned, I completely agree with, which had to do with the website. Because I remember when I saw her video, I went to the website, clicked the link and looked through, and I was like, okay, well, they have some stuff, comparable prices. Some of them are slightly cheaper, some of them are more expensive. So, I mean, it's not the forerunner. It's not it's not head and shoulders above the others. It's around the same kind of lost in the sauce, to be honest, when I'm talking about prices. Anyway, so I saw her video, I saw a few others, and I was like, okay, cool. So when they reached out to me, I was like, okay, well, this is the first time, someone is reaching out to me. So I was really excited. Um, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to collab with a brand, and this makes sense. We all want our channels to grow in some way, right? So I thought, okay, well, this is the next step. This just makes sense. So yeah, I'll work with them. So when we were chatting on DMs, I'll post some pictures, screenshots, so you guys can see for yourselves. But I initially went in saying, yeah, I would like to do it. You guys can send me a couple of things, and I can review the fragrances and also review or talk about my experience with the site. And they're like, yeah, we only we want our what do you call it? Our creators. We want our creators to be honest and da 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 da. I was like, okay, cool, great. So under those circumstances, I agreed. Go ahead and send me those things, and I will make a video talking about my experience on the site, and with intentions of being very, very honest. And I will also incorporate some, content about the fragrance as well. So it's not just like a review on the website. Anyway, so I picked two fragrances. They gave me a budget for two fragrances. I picked the two. They sent me a code. I put the code in. It ended up zeroing out. Got the thing shipped so fast. I got my package within 2 days, and I remember getting so excited and thinking, oh, this is amazing shipping compared to all the other retailers. I'm definitely going to make a point to mention that in my video. So I even filmed an unboxing and mentioned how fast the shipping was. And then, like, 2 minutes later, I get a message from them saying, oh, we see that your package has been delivered. Everything okay? And I was like, everything is perfect. Thank you very much. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to send you an email that is going to have information that we want you to mention in your video. And also, before you post your video, you have to send it to us so we can, I guess, approve it. And right then and there, I was like, okay, let me see what the email is going to have. So they sent me the email. I gave them my email address. They sent me the email, and it literally had like all these bullet points of things they wanted me to say. And a lot of it I couldn't back up because it wasn't my experience. Oh, one thing is the fast shipping. They told me that the fast shipping is not normal. They just expedited it because we're doing a collaboration. So I was like, okay, well, I can't really talk about the shipping anymore. And then it had things about shipping, it had things about discounts, it had things about a lot of stuff. And then right when I read through it, and I'm like, well, I can't really speak on the shipping because I personally didn't experience the shipping. I know one thing they pride themselves on is the fact that they have like a minimum, or they have no minimum free shipping or something like that. So you can spend as little as $20 and you'll get free shipping, which is cool. But they were saying I should say the shipping will take X amount of days, but I can't really vouch for that because I didn't experience that. And just a few things that, like I said, I didn't experience. And just to kind of circle around to the whole speaking on things that I have no experience with. And I felt like, they wanted me to do that. And it just didn't feel like it would be a video that I would film. I want all of my videos to remain true to me. You guys have been with me for a while now. Um, I initially started my channel um, when I was released from my last role at the height of the pandemic. And I was one of the most expensive employees, so of course they're making cuts. So I was one of the first to go, and I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time. I was in a very dark space because I had never been, released from a job before. It was my first time, and I was overseas. I didn't have any family. So a friend of mine encouraged me, like, girl, you should do a YouTube channel. You've been talking about it. Go ahead and do it. This is your time to do it. So I did it. That morning we talked. I got up, cleaned up, filmed my first video, which is super cringy, by the way. Don't watch it, please. But the reason why I did it was because I had a passion for fragrance. And that sounds so corny, but really I wanted to. And I think in my first video I mentioned it, that on my channel I want to kind of share my experiences with fragrance that I'm exploring. I also want to learn. I also, want to meet people and collaborate with like-minded folks who are also passionate about fragrance. And you guys know me, I'm particularly passionate about indie artisanal fragrances, which I am just digging it deeper in it every day. And it's been a fun journey, and I want to keep it that way. And anyway, so let me go back to the story. So when when I got the email, I was like, okay, well, what they're asking me to do doesn't feel like me. So I'm going to try and be creative and come up with a way to kind of incorporate their things in it, but also remain honest and remain true to myself and true to my channel. I don't want you guys to come on my channel expecting my kind of content and get something completely different. And and that's the whole thing. I can't put on a facade. I can't bullshit. I just can't. So I struggled. I struggled trying to come up with a concept that I could, that will fulfill their needs and also fulfill mine, if you know what I mean. So they kept reaching out to me, any update on the video, in a way where I felt like I was being micromanaged. And another thing a lot of you may not know about me is I don't like to be micromanaged. I like to work on my own time. I like to set my own schedule. And I didn't like that. I did not like that. I was saying, you guys, I'm thinking about an idea. When we agreed to this, there was no deadline. There was no deadline. You made it seem like I had freedom to do whatever I wanted. And then all of a sudden you're giving me all these requirements that's kind of dampening my motivation and my, creative outlet. So I was telling them okay, I'm working on it. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. To the point where I just stopped responding because I just didn't like how they kept messaging me all the time. Okay. All the time. So to be fair and to be very subjective, I was wrong for that. I should have kept communicating with them, or at least communicated to them that, hey, you guys are doing a bit too much. You know what I mean? I should have said something instead of go silent. And that's something that I do that I need to work on myself, but I digress. So I stopped messaging them and things started happening at home. Things are changing, things are happening. You guys know my presence was gone on YouTube. I hadn't done a video in a long time, just very sporadic, film something with my sister, because that was something fun, I didn't have to think too hard about it. Then we had the freeze in Texas, as a lot of you guys know. Went through a lot there, and we got home the end of the week of the freeze. We came back home, and a fellow creator reached out to me and was like, hey, I just want to let you know that I did a collaboration with Favgrance, and they asked me to recommend people, and I recommended you. I didn't say anything at the time because I didn't want you to get your hopes up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I'm not going to say the creator's name because I don't want to, compromise her privacy or whatever. So then I was like, yeah, okay. Then I was happy to hear from her because I thought, okay, well, I'm kind of in a rut. I can't think of a way, to kind of, I just couldn't think of a way to make this video. So I thought, okay, let me reach out, let me see if she has any advice. So I told her, yeah, I did get a word from them. They sent me some stuff. I'm trying to work on their video, but I'm having a hard time, keeping it true to me, and just told her the whole thing. And she's like, girl, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Just mention a few of the things. I was like, yeah, and she's like, well, you don't have to say it verbatim. Because I looked at that list like a script. Because the way it was written was like, mention like all these bullet points. And it's not like 2 or 3 bullet points. It's like maybe like 10. It was ridiculous. And I was like, okay. So I kind of got motivated. And then I thought, and I had an idea. I actually finally had an idea after speaking with her. And the idea doesn't matter at this point. But soon after I finished talking to her, Favgrance messaged me and they were like, oh, we know that you've had contact with, this creator. So we know that you're active on this platform and we're getting worried, blah, blah, blah. And basically threatened. I just realized I had my notebook here this whole time. Let's move that there. Oh, and my pen. Okay. So anyway, just threatening me with legal action. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, who are you? Okay, first of all, what did I even say? At that point, before that, I should say, I'd been contemplating reaching out to them and saying, you know what, let me just pay for the stuff and I no longer have to do this video because, I'm having a hard time. You guys are rushing me, blah, blah, blah. But I really wanted to try. Because one thing about me also is that I don't like to give up, which is stupid in this case, but I digress again. So when they sent me that message, I was livid. Okay. I responded apologizing for ignoring them because that is wrong. And I admit to that. I will always admit and take ownership of my mistakes or my wrongdoings. And then I went on to say, like, you don't know what people are, what did I say? I said, as I shared with that creator, I've been struggling making a video that promotes your site whilst keeping it natural and true to my channel. I've also been going through some personal issues. As you may or may not have noticed, I haven't been able to create content as I normally do, but I understand your concerns completely. What I will ask of you is to send me an invoice of the 2 fragrances along with along with instructions on how to pay. That way I am no longer obliged to do the video and you get the cost of the fragrance back. I'm willing to pay. I could have just said, give me a return label and I'll ship it. But instead I was like, I opened them already. Let me go ahead and pay for it just so at least they're not losing out on anything. Because I'm not here to cheat people. I'm not here to gain anything. It's fine. And then they're like, oh, we completely understand. However, we're not understanding why we're blatantly ignored. That is not very professional, Miss Deco. We are more than understanding with our creators. We have creators who have newborns and jobs and work with them. We hate having mentioned lawyers and legal action. However, we see that it worked. We will send you an invoice for the purchase and email you in a moment. And this is when that part pissed me off because I find it to be extremely insensitive to compare people's situations to others. You don't know my life. You don't know me. And so I was like, I was just getting more pissed and more pissed by the second. And I was like, and again, I apologize. Anyway, I'll put everything here. And I basically said, you continuing to say that I'm being unprofessional and comparing my situation to others is extremely insensitive and lets me know that you understanding is questionable. And understand that I've been contemplating and going back and forth with deciding to ask for an invoice, and you mentioning legal action just solidified my decision. I know that taking legal action for $200 worth of perfume doesn't really make sense, especially for a thriving company. Anyway, I'm not one to wish ill will onto anyone. I wish them good luck and success with their company, whatever. And the rest, and there wasn't even much after that, except for he or she, he mentioned, said, sent the message and then deleted it. It was weird. And then I got the PayPal information, went ahead and sent the money, and was like, okay, I'm done. So I have every right to feel the way I feel, obviously. I felt like, um, they were being very shisty. The way they talk to people and kind of, the way our back and forth conversations were a bit, I don't know, I just didn't feel good about them because it was like they felt like they owned me because they gave me 2 free bottles, okay? And felt like they can talk to me in any kind of way. I don't know if they're communicating in this manner with other creators. I don't really care. If they want to accept that, they can, but I will never. I will never. I am a grown ass woman. I don't need 2 free bottles. I'm not going to accept 2 free bottles and have you speak to me any kind of way and to micromanage me and to kind of, sell me on one thing, saying I can do whatever I want, and then later on backtracking and sending me a whole list of things that you want me to mention. What the hell? Um, but the thing is, like, this is my first time. This was my first time communicating with a brand for some sort of collaboration. I'd never done it before. And I don't know if this is how it is typically. And I honestly don't care. And after this experience, I feel like, it just made me remember again why I started my channel. I did not start my channel to make money. I didn't start my channel to sell things to my viewers. I didn't start my channel to make a profit off of my viewers. I didn't make a channel to I just made a channel to share. That's all. To share, to learn, to meet people. That is why I can't I have all these fragrances and I can't talk about my fragrances to my friends because they don't get it. I can't talk about them to my parents because they also don't get it, you know what I mean? So I feel like this fragcom and the people that I've met through my YouTube channel and my Instagram have become great friends, and to me makes all of this so much more worth it. I feel like with my channel I'm able to reach so many people, further than I can even imagine, and or in places that I wouldn't have thought, you know what I mean? So I after this experience I decided, I don't think collaborations are for me. I will never collaborate with a company, especially if they're not allowing me to do me. If you're gonna have me read a script or whatever, I'm not for it. And I'm not here to say that other creators who have collabed with Favgrance have gone through a similar situation. I mean, their channels are different from mine, and that's okay. They have a lot more subscribers than I do. Their channels are much more bigger, and that's completely fine. It's nice to see my channel grow, but I like to have my channel grow with people who um, appreciate the art of fragrance rather than just like smelling good. And like I said, I'm not making this video to bash anyone. I enjoy watching those ladies' videos and I watch them all the time. But I just feel like my channel is focused on other things. So collaborations would be a fit for them, a great fit for them, but it's just not for me. And with my personality and with how I like to run my channel, I just do what I do, Hopefully this video is starting to get really long, so I need to keep it short. Anyway, so I also want to make it a point to mention, especially for other creators out there, if you guys are watching, when you guys are collaborating with brands and they send you stuff, don't let them speak to you in any kind of way. Don't let them treat you like they own you because they sent you a couple of bottles. It's just bottles. You don't even need those bottles, to be honest, because you have a bunch of fragrances anyway. They need you. You don't need them. So don't ever, ever let these brands take advantage of you. Never let them make you compromise your integrity for a bottle or two or three or four or whatever. It's not worth it. Well, maybe it is worth it for you, but for me, it's not worth it. Anyway, yeah, so I think I'm done. I don't want to, the video's already like 27 minutes without editing, so let me go ahead and wrap it up. Yeah, so I think that's it. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Yeah, so okay, I want to hear your opinions below. I know that this has been a topic, collabing with brands has been a topic within Fragcom since the beginning of freaking sponsorships and stuff. I want to have a discussion, okay? I want to have a discussion and I want to know your opinions. How do you feel about creators, just taking up any sponsorship and selling things, knowing that they perhaps haven't really experienced it as a consumer? So they're basically just, I don't know, I guess it all comes down to advertising, right? So how do you feel about creators advertising for brands without having the full experience of the brand? Because a collaborator or a creator's experience, a sponsored experience is not going to be the same as a consumer experience. Almost never. Almost never. So anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!